As mentioned on the phone line, the Member of Parliament for Mayaro, Mr. Parray, he joins me. And I'm happy that he took a little time to just give us some clarification. Let me say good morning to you, Mr. Parray. Thanks for coming on.
Hi, good morning, JW. Very blessed Holy Thursday to you and all of your audience this morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course, you know, it seems to me from the outside looking in, if one questions the internal process, it's almost interpreted as a push or almost an attack at the leadership, which I know when you did your conference last week, I did not really hear such an utterance. You just questioned the democratic process within the walls of the UNC, and coming out of that, lots was said in the public domain all up to yesterday. And I'm watching this morning via the Guardian that Parray stands down. Is this the case? Is it that as we say in local parlance, the pressure bust the pipe? What's the latest?
Look, at the end of the day, I think there was a bit of misinterpretation of release that I did. I want to make this clear. I am not in the business of standing down. I am in the business of standing up. Last Friday, under a call from a vast majority of our membership, I stood up on behalf of the membership of the party to call for our internal election. There was some talk throughout the party that there may have been some scuttling of the internal election. And that is why a deep concern was raised. And, you know, there are questions as to, you know, why? Parray, why now? You know, is there a reason for that? The thing about it is I am an advocate, JW. As a member of parliament, I'm an advocate with an amplified voice at the end of the day. And when the membership calls you over a month and says, look, something is happening, you need to say something about it. And, you know, at the end of the day, we made a call for an internal election to be held, and on that very same evening, the political leader assured the country that the internal elections will be called when it's constitutionally due. Yesterday, Dr. Monilal, he confirmed that the internal elections will be held. But I want to go further. I want the party, the leadership of the party, to call the date. Why? Because I want the participation from the widest selection of our members, the widest participation. So you need enough time to do that. So my call today is to reiterate that I is standing down from nothing.
Yeah.
Stand down from what?
Let me
All I'm saying is that we're standing up for what is right for the democracy of the party.
Let me ask you, MP Parray, I mean, looking at the history of the politics in Trinidad, when folks, I guess, step out and they challenge the system, whether it's the internal process, usually there's a backlash. Did you anticipate this particular storm, and were you ready for the verbal onslaught that came with your stance last Friday and up to now?
Absolutely, JW. Listen, I don't get involved in mudslinging. That is for a carnival ban. And I want the people of this country, and more so the membership of the party, to continue standing strong and standing tall. Because I will not cower to foolishness. I will not cower to any banter. And I mean, people in Mayaro and those folks who know me well, I am not one to, you know, move to the side when you are confronted with difficult situations. I've been in business, I've been in the technology business for years. I've ran systems that have operated this country's energy sector for about 30 years. So I'm not in the business of running from anybody, and whatever comes our way, we will continue to stand up and stand tall.
Yeah.
So standing down has no place in my vocabulary at this time.
Understood. You know, speaking about business, I was watching the news last evening. I'm sure you probably was looking at the broadcast with Ryan and Ria, and the opposition leader, your opposition leader, the leader of the UNC, would have mentioned that, unknowing to her, she said information came that claims you were a financier, as it were, of the PNM. I know that business owners across the length and breadth of Trinidad sometimes would put a little something in the both pots to you know, I mean, that's been common practice over the years. What's your reaction to that particular statement? You were even labeled a PNM infiltrator.
Let me put this to rest again for the 99th time. All of these allegations were what you call political campaign banter in the 2015 elections. During the screening in 2015, the very same NATEX committee who screened me identified it was foolishness, and I was approved to be the MP in 2015. I served 5 years.
Yes.
I came back in 2020. All of these matters were on the docket. Again, they identified Parray, it is foolishness, let's move on. You will continue to serve and be the candidate. So, I mean, I find it very strange that, you know, these things are coming back up just in the pot, and that is okay. That is the politics of our country. We remain steadfast in ensuring that an internal election is going to be called.
Noted.
The widest possible membership can participate, and we can make the UNC stronger to be a stronger Trinidad and Tobago. Indeed.
MP Parray, I want to thank you. So I guess the big takeaway this morning is that standing down is not in your vocabulary. You are standing up, and you'll continue to press on and ask for the democratic process to
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course. MP Parray, thank you for coming on, and we heard it from the man himself, the MP of Mayaro. He is going to continue pushing for that internal process to play itself out in real time. Thank you so much, MP, for being here with us. Let's take that pause and we come back. As mentioned, it's a busy and exciting weekend ahead. Let's get some details concerning the Spiritual Baptist and Shelter Liberation Day that's happening this weekend.